Can you hear my voice?
Yes, clearly. Thank you. Stage is yours.
Thank you. Our dear friend and colleagues in first and episode, my name is Jeong Min Lee, and I work for KISA, Korea Internet and Security Agency, also is known as KISA and Position Center. It's my pleasure to have a chance to introduce our effort about the AI dataset. And I hope you enjoyed our presentation, and maybe it is a good chance to understanding about little about dataset. Okay, today my presentation have a three parts. First one is just introduction, background, and how we gathering the data, and how to we cooperating some companies. And second part is best practice, and how can we prove our data set is effect in real world. And third one is a conclusion, and that part is have some questions and the future works. First part, introduction. 10 years ago, maybe almost nobody think AI is good for cybersecurity, because at that time, AI has some problem because we know they cannot divide the dog's pictures and cat's pictures. And it changed, but it changed in 2016, because I believe everyone knows this event is DeepMind AlphaGo. And at that time, for myself, I believe is AI is still good, but it is not enough to beat the human in Go, Badu, 8 years. But in fact, it changed the result. Yeah, AI is beat the human. And we also in South Korea, we also have some questions about how about using AI in cybersecurity area, because we have some problem around 2013 and 14. And that time we have a big incident in the cybersecurity area, and we already know that is called APT, Advanced Persistent Threat. And we have issues about that kind of things. Because before that, we believe just a firewall was enough to protect our system. Not everything, but it's just enough. But it changed very dramatically. So we wanted to detect and prevent APT attack. So we attach many devices to our system: firewall, IDS, IPS, WAP, system log, WAM log, and so on. But that is another problem, because it is easy to attach to some device because you need just a fuzzy. But in the operating area has some problem, because we have not enough manpower, expertise to monitoring and analyzing these systems. So maybe I think everyone must also know is human resources has some long-term problem in cybersecurity areas, and we have some good solution for make expert in cybersecurity area. We just waiting and educating people to providing to us about some powers to operating. But somebody said, okay, why don't you use some AI in this part? For example, they can replace the human expert, or they can reduce some jobs about the free jobs, amount of work for the expertise. So we trying to start to research about that kind, and we find some opportunity to have chance to reduce our some burden. So we try to using AI in cybersecurity area, and there is some requirement about using that. First one is hardware part. If you want to using AI, you need some GPU or some CPU and many other hardwares. A second part is software. That is, you need a modeler and some labeler and some architecture, many other things. And third part is data set. If you want to running AI, you need the data in cybersecurity areas. But it is not easy to obtain data because maybe it is required people sharing some information with some other agency and company. It is a similar problem. They don't want to share their information to others because still they have a shame about, okay, I don't want to share our some failure or some kind of that meaning. So it is not easy. And also in you can see in this picture that is all some words, garbage data in, garbage data out. So we need trying to find some solutions. So how can we gather the information about the AI data? And also we need to prove that data set is good enough to using in real pair. And maybe you can see this picture in internet many times. Is Professor Stephen in the Stanford University. And recently he said is a data-centric AI competitions. And they said is data is more important than some code. Maybe, but this is some recent work. We need some more studying about that. Anyway, we need the data. So we cooperating with the other country, sorry about that, company and organization and trying to persuading that, okay, if you give us the data, we deleted some, for example, personal data and some special data about the name point to the company names or some other things. So we wanted to make some standard AI data set for cybersecurity area. So around 2021, we built some two data AI cybersecurity AI data set, and it contains two parts. First one is malware, and second one is incident area. Because we believe these two parties anyway we can use it many parts of cybersecurity areas. And in malware area, we divide these three parts: data set based on diagnostic name of malwares, and the data set based on attribute name of malware. And third one is recent social issues. And the number of data is you can see this presentation. I believe is a huge number of data. Before that, there is some data set in internet you can using around about the DARPA in around 20 or around 15 years ago data. Also, you can find some data from Canadian France in 2017 and 18 areas. But their number is limited, so we want to build as possible as big as possible we can. So we gather many data, and the size are very huge. And the data set is around 3 petabytes about size. And is incident area, and yours malwares and incident area, we have around 800 million data we have, and MLS said is a size of 3 petabyte, and is really huge size of data. And so, as I said, first one is how do we gathering the data, and second problem is how do we show the people it is a good data. So we make a best practice, because there is a we cannot find some paperwork or some other solution. So we start cooperating, talk to the company and organization is why don't you use our data in your system? So because the demonstration is most easiest way and good way to prove our data is not bad. And during the 3 months cooperating with the organizations and companies, we make some best practice, and also we make some guideline books and share our best practice to the other cybersecurity company and organization. And we have some event to share our knowledge to others. And it includes with some histories and data set structures, and how do we cooperate with some private public cybersecurity organizations and research and so many things. But sadly, it is written by Korean, so it is not easy to share to other colleagues. But in the YouTube, you can see that event, and thank you for the Google. They have some automatically make some English subtitles, so you can understand the meaning about that kind of things. It includes spam filtering with telecommunication companies, and malware detection works with the game publisher. And also we have cooperating with the monitoring organization with further intelligent detections in government areas. So the first one is game publishers. Before that, we talked to some companies and organizations. We divide these 2 group of them. First one is they already have their AI model for the detection or some prevent their system using AI. And so second group is there is no AI model or systems for the detection or prevention systems. So we divided our colleagues to 2 parts and cooperating each other. First part, we trying to rerunning their AI models with our AI data set. And second group, we cooperating with the company and build some system, test system for using AI and for detection and prevention. This presentation is the second group one. They have no AI systems, so we trying to make some test system with the game publisher, and they can compare before using this system and after this system. Maybe I believe some of you heard about game publisher named Nexon, and they have some huge game publish company in South Korea and in Japan, and they have a management around 80 games in the world. And they also have 7 million files a day, suspicious files. So they want to analyzing this kind of suspicious files and trying to prevent it from their game systems. But it is not easy because maybe everyone knows that 7 million files a day is a huge size of data. So first of all, they are hiring many experts for analyzing and detect to hacking tools, but it is not enough to effort to very well because the 50% of files is unidentified, and there is every day it stocks in their center. So they wanted to find some solutions for analyzing hacking tools. So we trying to make some test system, and it is for detection for hacking tools using our cybersecurity AI dataset, especially in malware part. And we demonstrate with this game publisher, and that we have some research about that things. Reducing manual analysis time more than 70% decrease, and business efficiency more than 30% of increasing. So they can solve their problem. 7 million files analyzing a day. They can do that after using our systems. And the efficiency is more increased. So before that, around 30 per expert is trying to find analyzing hacking tools, but after that, around more less than 10% expert for their same job. So it's they are very happy about that things, and they also still contact with them and cooperating with each other. And second is, and third one is, they had already have their AI system for their systems. And we trying to, we give them our data set and trying to really educate their AI model and compare with their original algorithm and relearning algorithm. And second one is Korea Local Information Research and Development Institute, and they are cooperating with the government and monitoring and their system. So they have around 17 government agency and organization for monitoring, and that is a very huge size of the log data they have. So they want to also reduce their manpowers and increase their efficiency. So we, as I mentioned, we rerunning their systems using our data set, and increase AI model detection performance is more than 5 to 30% of increase by running the resisting intrusion scenario data set in malware and incident areas. And you can see the numbers in there. Accuracy is increased 82% to 93%, and reduced the response time to 20 minutes to 5 minutes, and increased the detection event 8 a week, day to 20 a day. And it is a very efficient, increased the efficiency because at first time they believe is enough to using their data to protect their systems, but after our test each day, and they change their mind. And we also know it is very important to running many data to AI model is increase their efficiency. Third one is Korea Telecom. There is one of the biggest company in South Korea, telecommunication corporations, and they wanted to. They're using AI model for the detection malwares in email systems. In COVID area, there is many issues in email system because attackers trying to send some spear phishing emails and some ransomwares and many suspicious activities in email system. So they want increase their efficiency too. So we cooperating with KT, like create people scenario. We give them some our data set to relearning about their AI model. And in the research, compare with the original model, we to the new models, true false rate is increased 83% to 92.6%, and also true negative is decreased 224 to 68. That means is this AI model is more efficient to find suspicious email in their system. And there are many other cases about using our data set to AI model, a re-education AI model, or make some test system with make a test system and a demonstration with cooperate with some companies, but that is not enough space to sharing and introduce them. So maybe I have another chance to introduce to other people. And last part is conclusion. 2021, as I mentioned, we believe around 800 million data set in two parts, malwares and incident, and we believe it is efficient to increase our cybersecurity environment effort and efficiency. So we build another data set in this year in application area, active monitoring, and sleep profiling. Application means is there is many vulnerabilities in application. As maybe you familiar in CVE. So we try to cooperating some other companies in Korea, South Korea, and we also analyzing CVE. So make some data set, find there are some vulnerabilities. And active monitoring is increase about some incident area because there is many different difficulty issues in monitoring about some communication data. So we make a more complicated data set for active monitoring areas. And last thing is threat profiling. Maybe in these days, many organizations want to know some attackers strategies, wanted to learning about that things, also to find some signal about start to attack. So we make some profiling data and trying to giving it to some organization like some national police and other company and organizations. And we think around 600 million data is more maker in this year. But there is as we proceed our journey to make an AI data set, we received some questions from field areas. and some our other co-works. First one is a very simple question. Our cybersecurity AI data set is good in South Korea environment, but how about in other countries? For example, we in Asia Pacific area, we usually cooperating each other and sharing some data. But I believe that is a very good cooperating case. But how about the data set? For example, our data set is we gathering in our environment. And for example, if I give it to the Japan or China or Vietnam, other countries, they can use more same effort in their countries or not. And second one is, okay, maybe we can share our data set with other countries, but there is no standard format about the data set in each countries or each company and each organizations. So maybe same problem occurred like sharing the information, because some countries says it's malware, some countries says some instant file or some suspicious file. That is occurred in AI data, the same things is occurred, we believe. So we believe is okay, we need some standard, and maybe international standard is more good for cooperating each countries. And second one, not in this paper, as I mentioned, is a data set is we need a huge size, build a huge size of data set, but it is not good for the running, but it is not good for the sharing because the size of data set is too huge. For example, so we also have that kind of problem occurred already in South Korea because we trying to give our data set to the other company or some organization, but they have not enough data storage in their company. So we cannot give it to the straight. So divide it to many times and sharing it with the other company and organization. And also, third problem is occurred. And it is in company and organization want to sharing the real data about the malwares. They want to do some execution files. But as you know, that is a very complicated problem about sharing the executable some malware files. So we also have some trying to study, sorry about that. We started to studying what is the best size of the AI data set and how can we share some executable malwares to others. Maybe I believe it is the right way to improve our system using AI and also make some AI data set and sharing some companies and countries is good for our environment, for defense, our peoples, our companies. But yeah, there is still more studying about that thing. So yeah, maybe it is a good chance to introduce our effort and the problem. And I believe some of you have interesting about that thing. Please feel freely contact our agency. We have open to communication each other. Thank you. If any question, please use the Q&A section. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Jeong Min Lee, for the presentation. It has I learned that you have done a lot of research and also interesting outcome has been observed. So thank you very much for sharing that. That was really informative. And before we go, if we have a question for a couple of minutes, there's one question from Liliana in the chat box. Could the AI model be combined with the Bayesian statistics to improve the results? Can you answer this question?
Yeah, but as you know, there is a very case-by-case problem, because some of the AI model using a Bayesian model to improve their studies, they're efficient, but sometimes not effective. Effect is not good for Bayesian model. So it is a little complicated share with our demonstration of AI models with some company and organization, because this is a very complicated problem. But I mentioned is sometimes it works, but sometimes it's not work. Is it okay?
Yeah, so I understand there are challenges in combining those models, but I guess we will walk through and make some improvements in the coming future. So again, thank you very much, Dr. Lee, for the presentation. That's the end of the session. So thank you very much again.
Thank you.